After a turbulent, injury-plagued regular season, the LeBron James-led Los Angeles Lakers were eliminated in the first round of the NBA playoffs on Thursday night. An almost unfathomable feat. The Lakers were destroyed by Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and the Phoenix Suns, with Anthony Davis unable to play more than a few minutes due to a groin issue that has troubled him for the majority of the series. In today's video, we are going to discuss whether the legendary LeBron James will retire in Los Angeles, home of his team, the Lakers. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on, so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. LeBron James's recent performance 2021. Due to the global health situation, the 2020-21 season was cut to 72 games for each team and began on December 22, 2020, after the shortest offseason in NBA history, with a 116-109 loss to the Clippers. In a 121-107 win over the Spurs on December 31, 2020, James became the first player in NBA history to score 10 points or more in 1,000 consecutive games. James scored 28 points, grabbed 9 rebounds, and handed out 8 assists in the Lakers' 7th consecutive victory over the Grizzlies on February 13, 2021. James became the third player in NBA history with 35,000 career points in a 109-98 loss to the Nets on February 18th, joining Hall of Famers Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Karl Malone. At 36 years and 50 days, he was the youngest player to reach the milestone. On March 20th, James hurt his ankle against the Hawks, but he was able to keep his 10-point streak alive by hitting a 3-point shot before exiting the game. By March, the Lakers had fallen to number 5, 2 games behind the Jazz, after going 14-16 without Davis and 6-10 without James. James returned on April 30th following a 20-game hiatus, his longest in his career. James was sidelined for the second time in May after missing a game against the Raptors, but he returned for the final 2 games and played 45 of 72 games, averaging 25 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 7.8 assists on 51.3% shooting. It was his 17th consecutive season scoring at least 25 points per game, the most in NBA history. The Lakers finished with a 42-30 record in an injury-plagued season, placing 7th due to tiebreakers and meeting the number 8 seed Warriors in the play-in round. After James made the game-winning 3-point shot in the final minute, the Lakers won 103-100. James had a triple-double with 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists, as well as 2 steals. The Lakers faced the number 2 Suns in the first round of the playoffs, marking the first time in James's career that he did not have home court advantage in the first round. Los Angeles led 2-1 before Davis injured his groin in Game 4, which James won with a game-high 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists on 10 for 21 shooting. The Lakers were defeated by the Suns in 6 games, making it the first time in James's career that he had fallen in the first round. James averaged 23.3 points per game in the series, his 4th lowest total for a series in his career, and his lowest since averaging 22.8 in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2014. Where and when will LeBron James retire? LeBron will become 37 years old next season, and thoughts of retirement will definitely begin to cross his mind. In former years, he could have carried a mediocre supporting group to a playoff series victory while Davis recovered. However, at this stage in his career, it's evident that he won't be able to do so. Channing Frye used to play with LeBron James in Cleveland, and he believes the Lakers need to improve their supporting cast this offseason. "This is the summer of Rob Pelinka," Frye said on the Talkin' Blazers podcast. "Bron needs to say, of everything I've done in my career, you obviously see I can't, in today's age, take a team and win you 50 games myself. I can't do it. What I can do is provide leadership and culture, and I need to take 2 steps back." There's no denying that LeBron James is nearing the end of his career. In the playoffs, he was clearly still battling with a sprained ankle, but it wouldn't have slowed him down only a few years earlier. If the Lakers don't offer LeBron more to work with next season, Frye believes he should retire. He can be your facilitator, your guy. You cannot rely on him to give you 50. You cannot rely on him to give you those crazy triple-doubles, Frye said. He's just had too many miles. The tread is almost off the tire. So if Rob cannot bring him a championship team, Bron, in my opinion, should say, "Thank you, I had a great career, 18, 19 years in the league. I'm going to retire on top." But he is not retiring anytime soon. LeBron James has had one of the most successful NBA careers of all time, having played at a high level in the league for nearly 2 decades. James recently completed his 17th NBA season, culminating with a championship with the Los Angeles Lakers. So considering James's dominance for so long, and the fact that he will turn 36 in December, how much longer can he keep it up? Recently, James responded to the issue of when he will retire from basketball. In October of 2020, LeBron commented on when he plans to retire, a question on everyone's mind at this point as he is now 37 years old and has sustained quite significant injuries over time. LeBron said this about his plans to retire. "I don't know. I have not put a cap on it," James said. "I know I have a lot of years left, and what that looks like, how many years that looks like, I'm not sure. I know I can continue to play at a high level. A lot of it has to go into my family as well. Having 3 kids, having a high school sophomore right now, a lot of that stuff plays a part. As far as the game, I know I can play the game for quite a while." So how much longer can he play at this high level? Based on James's performance this season, it appears that he will be able to play well for the foreseeable future. James averaged 25.3 points and 7.8 rebounds per game in 2019-20. For the first time in his career, he also led the NBA in assists, averaging 10.2 per game. In the playoffs, James stepped it up a notch, helping the Lakers win the championship. James averaged 27.6 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 8.8 assists per game in the playoffs. Every season that James has played in the league, he has undoubtedly been the best player in the league. This was particularly true during his 17th season. It's simply amazing how long he's been able to maintain his level of perfection. Given how effective he is still on the floor, plus the fact that he understands he still has a lot left in him, it appears that James will continue to dominate the NBA for a long time. LeBron James's personal life. Savannah Brinson, born August 27, 1986, is James's high school sweetheart, and the couple now have 3 children, Bronny, Bryce, Maximus, and Zurinova. On December 31, 2011, James proposed to Brinson, and the two married on September 14, 2013 in San Diego, California. James lived in a coconut grove during his time with the Heat when he purchased a $9 million 3-story mansion with views of Biscayne Bay. James paid $21 million for a 9,350 square foot East Coast-style estate in Brentwood, Los Angeles in November 2015. A tumor on the right side of James's jaw was identified by specialists at the Cleveland Clinic in January 2009. James acquired a benign jaw tumor, specifically in his parotid gland, which required a 5-hour operation to remove on June 2, 2009, after the Cavaliers' run in the NBA playoffs ended. During a boating trip in the Bahamas with Dwayne Wade and Chris Paul, James rescued fellow basketball player Carmelo Anthony from the water as the current took him away from the boat. In March 2020, Anthony shared his account of the encounter on Instagram Live. James put a lot of effort into his health. He follows a rigorous workout routine and eats in ways that are unusual for a professional athlete. Even though he is 37, he still performs exceptionally well for his age and continues to prove his status as a legendary NBA player. LeBron is actually into his health so much that he reportedly spends 7 figures a year on his body and maintaining his health. Professionals commented on this figure and had this to say: "Where a lot of people don't do it, he puts a lot of money behind taking care of his body. A lot of people think it's a big expense, but that big expense has allowed him to make a lot more money for a long period of time." James has been playing professional basketball for such a long time now that it definitely takes a huge toll on his body, both mentally and physically. Part of this 7-figure includes a whole team of people who work closely alongside him, such as trainers, chefs, massage therapists, and more. And there you have it. Will LeBron James retire in Los Angeles? Who knows? We don't get much from James about his retirement and when he plans to do so it seems like he may be staying in the game for a little while longer. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching.